What you up to, Chance? Are you a good boy?
Okay, so I went out to the garden this morning and I harvested a ton of basil because the basil has exploded and I let it go because I didn't want to do it. And I harvested all of the green tops off of my onions, and I'm actually going to dehydrate all of that. I'm gonna, normal for the basil, dehydrate that so that we can have the basil in my little jar, and this may actually fill my jar. And then I'm gonna dehydrate the green onion tops and I'm gonna make onion powder out of those. I did actual onions and made minced onions probably about 3 months ago. And I have plenty of those. So this is gonna be onion powder. So that, I took all of my green onion tops and I am soaking them in my vinegar water. And then I will be doing the same with all of my basil here shortly. So I have finished washing my basil and onions, and I actually have it on my trays, and I have, I believe, 5 trays of basil, and I have 3 pretty tightly packed ones of onions, but I didn't want to, I'm being a little lazy, let's be honest. I don't want to take some off and put it on another tray, but I'm also going to be honest with you guys, dehydrating is pretty forgiving. Minus a couple of things, you can pretty much throw it on there, and as long as you check it, 12 hours from now and move things around that, aren't drying properly, you're going to be okay. So I'm going to get this plugged in and running, and it will probably be tomorrow before this is dry. I'm guessing my onions are gonna dry before the basil will, but who knows? So we have 4 trays of the basil, which as you can tell is super dry and crumbly. I'm loving it. So I will gather all that up. I'll put it in a bowl and I'll crumble that, and it's gonna go in with the rest of my basil, which you saw me do once before. Here's our basil. Okay, super dry. And I like it just like you would get it in a spice container where it's in very small pieces. And once you have it dry, it is super easy to just crush it with your fingers. And really quickly, it becomes exactly like what you would buy in any kind of a seed container. And I take that, and yes, I have shown you this once before, but one of my daughters said, no, you need to do that again and do it in one video. Don't break it into more than one video. So I said, all right, I'll do that for you. So I'm literally taking it now and putting it into my little jar, which is almost full. In fact, it is about to be very full. Which means that I'll probably do another container. As you can see, that is right up there at the top. I'll probably do another one this size, which will be enough to get us through quite a bit of the year. I use basil a lot, and then I'll start giving it away to my kids and anyone else that needs basil. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful basil. But look at this, guys. This is a green onion top. I just went out and cut it off the tops of my onions because they were getting really long. But look at this. Super dry. And I am going to take that and probably, I haven't decided just yet if I'm going to do the same thing where I just crumble it with my hands, but more than likely I'm going to put it in my so we just made an executive decision, or a triple decision. I actually got the opinion of a couple of my daughters. I was gonna put this in my grinder and grind it up into a super fine powder. And then I started crumbling it up with my fingers. And first of all, it crumbles pretty fine, just with a couple of crunches of my fingers. And I started thinking how pretty that would be to have some pieces that are just a little bit bigger than a fine powder. So I think I'm gonna take all of this and do that. So I crushed up all of our green onions and ended up with a good amount here, and I'm just going to put a lovely lid on that, and I'm gonna throw that on anything I can think of, because the smell of those green onions is so incredible. My hands smell like it. I've been going around making everybody smell it. It is so fantastic. So dehydrate some basil, dehydrate some green onion tops, and make yourself your own spices that don't have all those fillers and gross stuff in them. You know what's in this. You grew it, you dehydrated it, now use it. Not better.